Good afternoon, everybody. We have our ultimate talk today in this room, and it's all about law at ANU. And so we've got a panel to discuss the subject. It's a very popular degree at the ANU, especially doubled with something like arts. So let's welcome our panelists.
Hello and welcome to our panel discussion, Study Law, Change the World. My name is Helen Tong and I'm a Bachelor of Laws Honours and Arts student here at the Australian National University. Today we'll be exploring some of the reasons that make Canberra and ANU the ideal place to study law. We'll preview some of the programs and touch on some of the opportunities that set ANU apart as Australia's national law school. Before we begin, I'd like to appreciate and acknowledge the first Australians on whose traditional lands we gather. That's the Ngunnawal and Ngambri peoples here in Canberra. And I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our panel. Associate Professor Heather Roberts is an award-winning educator and a Discovery Early Career Researcher Award Fellow. Associate Professor Wayne Morgan is the Associate Dean, Education and Interdisciplinary Scholar. Salman Tahir is an international student from Pakistan who holds a Master of Laws from ANU and is currently completing his Juris Doctor. And Nicole King is the manager of the college's Student Education and Services team. Wayne, I'd like to start with you as we share a snapshot of our college. ANU offers dozens of degree programs. Why study law?
Okay, well, the first thing I always like to say in response to this question is that our graduates do amazing things. I'm constantly stunned by the remarkable careers that our graduates have and the range of things that they end up doing as part of those careers, whether that's in the public service here in Canberra, whether it's going into the legal profession and ending up as judges or other high flyers, or indeed whether it's in the international civil service, working for the UN or working for an international human rights organisation. So yes, our graduates do remarkable things. Apart from that, in terms of the ANU College of Law, of course we rank very highly globally as a law school, always in the top 5 in the country and usually in the top 25 globally. And when you think of the number of law schools in the world, that's a pretty remarkable statistic. So we punch way above our weight. On top of that, of course, we have leading experts in a number of fields, particularly in public and international law, but across the legal spectrum. And so you get to interact with those literally who wrote the book, so to speak, on a whole range of areas of law. Apart from that, you would be joining a global alumni of around 22,000. So in terms of the networks that you become part of as an ANU College of Law graduate, global and extensive. And then, with respect to the degree program itself, we have some opportunities that very few other law schools offer. For example, we are the only law school in Australia that sends an intern to the International Court of Justice in The Hague. We have an internship with the World Bank in Washington or with the International Bar Association in London. So the opportunities are tremendous. So I think I better stop there. Helen?
Thank you, Wayne. And what you've said has definitely resonated with me as a current law student, especially as I'm currently completing a clerkship at a government department that has a special agreement with ANU. So Nicole, we'll move on to you now. Can you tell us more about the programs available at the ANU College of Law and your advice to prospective students considering our programs?
Yes, I can. I will start off with our LLB honours because I think that's most of my audience in the room today is looking at our undergraduate degree. So we offer a Bachelor of Laws with Embedded Honours here at the ANU College of Law. And our entry requirements for that degree program are 97. I know, big gasp. It is a high ATAR to get into law. But the IB equivalent is 39, for those of you that need to know that figure as well. So we have a cohort of about 350 every year that enter our LLB ons, and we're very proud of our really, it's not small, but it is smaller than most law schools, and we get to know all of our students, and we pride ourselves on that individual attention that we're able to offer here at the college. In terms of our other programs, I'll just go through them quickly. Our Juris Doctor is our postgraduate program that leads also to admission in the same way the LLB does, and it is offered 3 years full-time. And then on top of that, we have now 3 master's programs. We have our Master of Laws. We have our Master of Financial Management and Law that we co-teach with the College of Business and Economics. And we have our Master of International Law and Diplomacy that we co-teach with the College of Asia Pacific. So we have a really broad depth of master's programs. We also have 2 graduate certificates for those that just want to come and get a taster or maybe haven't been studying for a while, so do that prior to the master's. And they transition straight from the graduate certificates into our master's programs. So that's basically our programs in a nutshell. Now I'll go back to our LLB Hons, because I know that's why most of you are here. And the biggest question I get is, what happens if I don't get the 97? So I guess my best answer to that is that for many years I have watched many students be successful this way. I was a career advisor in our Canberra high schools before starting this role, so I used to advise students of this very thing. So I think the most important thing is on your UAC, if you haven't got your ASA in and you're going to miss your early offer, then the best thing to do now is to put ANU College of Law as number 1 in your UAC forms. So make sure you do put the dream at the top. And then after that, you can put some other ANU options, because the most popular way in is for students who don't get the 97 to come in and do another degree program at the ANU. So you can come in and start in arts. You can start anywhere, actually. So if you get that 80 that you need for a base ANU degree, you come into that degree program. You do 12 months in that degree program. You get your GPA to 5.6, which is, sort of a lot lower than 97. It's a high credit average, and it's very attainable. And then you apply to transfer into the ANU College of Law for your second year at ANU. And in the meantime, you lose no time, because all you've done is completed the other half of your degree, and then you come into law, you catch up, and by third year, you're back on track with everybody else. So all you're doing is building up the other half of your degree, and you still can graduate in your 5 years with your FDD in the same way you would have if you came in through the front door the first time. So it really is a fabulous opportunity. And just because I know someone will ask, the GPA for 97 is actually 6.4. So therefore, the 5.6 that we have academic board approval for is significantly lower. And we figure that if you've done 12 months at the ANU and you're coping and you're doing well in the other half of your degree, there's no reason why you won't do as well in law. And in fact, our transfer students do as well, if not better, than our ones that got in the first time. So it definitely is a doable pathway, and one that a lot of students follow. Sorry, took up too much time.
No, that's all right, Nicole, and I can definitely attest that sometimes it might be easier to start with that slightly easier degree before you transfer into law in your second year. So there are many advantages linked to studying law here, including our access to expertise. Heather, can you tell us about the Visiting Judges program and how it enriches the student experience?
Sure, thanks Helen. So I'm delighted to run the Visiting Judges program, and I do so working with the National Judicial College of Australia. And they're the peak judicial education body, so once judges get sworn into the bench, they still need to do continuing education, and we work with them. It's a national body, as I said, so judges from all over Australia come to ANU. So if you study law at ANU, not only can you walk to the High Court, and we're the only institution in Australia that you can do that, or the Federal Court, or the Family Court, or the ACT Supreme Court, but you'll also get to meet judges from all around the country. And so the judges come to ANU for a 2-week program, usually from outside the ACT. And just thinking ahead to the program we're organising for September this year, we've got a judge from South Australia who was involved in 3 foundational cases in relation to Indigenous Australians in the law. And he'll be talking a bit about what he decided in those cases. He's going to be talking about climate change litigation and the possibilities for that in the future, as well as, and importantly, talking to students individually and in small groups. What we want in the program is to make sure that students can see themselves potentially in a pathway that might lead to the bench, because we have many ANU graduates on the bench now, but also to talk about navigating challenges and serendipities, as well as realising that what you're studying over 5 years in a book when you're reading a case was decided by a real human, and what goes into making that process. So it's a unique part of the ANU Law program, and particularly because it's a national program.
Thank you, Heather. That definitely sounds like a really rewarding program, and I can say that I've had my lunch at the High Court a fair few times. Now we'll move on to you, Salman. We've spoken about what makes Canberra a great student city. what are some of the support services and programs that have enriched your experience as a student at the ANU College of Law?
Thank you, Ellen. I think for me, a couple of things which really helped me when I first started studying law was peer-assisted learning program, which is essentially that your peers in law school who are senior to you, they come and sit down with you and have sessions with you regarding a particular subject in which you're struggling with. ANU also offers mentorship program where students who are in their third year, fourth year of law school, they become mentors, and you get assigned a mentor so that he or she can guide you to navigate your studies in law school. There are plenty of internship opportunities and clerkship opportunities. I had the privilege of working with College of Law on diversifying legal education in ANU. And these kind of opportunities then lead towards working as a research associate in the areas of your interest. And these are the privilege which ANU offers, which other universities can't engage with, because it's a very close-knit cohort of professors and students. It allows that engagement with professors and students and the admin of the law school.
Thank you, Salman. And I know myself and many other law students have used those support services and they have been really helpful. Another very well aspect of the College of Law is the quality and quantity of the student societies we have. And these student societies provide very accessible ways to start law student experiences like mooting and even social events where I've met many of my lifelong law friends. So it looks like we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions from the audience. If we could grab a microphone. So if anybody has a question, feel free to pop your hand up. I think we have one over there. In the black shirt over there. Yes.
Hey, what's the pathway to a master's degree in law at ANU from a different university?
Okay, I'll take that one. The master's GPA to get into our master's program is a 5, so you just need a 5 GPA to get in from any other university. If you're a little short of that 5, as I said, the grad certs are a great way through the program, and the Graduate Certificate of Law entry is a 4, a GPA of 4, and you do 4 law courses in the grad cert that are actually exactly the same as our master's courses, with one introductory course being the only difference. And then after that, you can transfer into the master's, get credit for all 4, and then do your other 4 courses and come out with your master's degree. So again, it's a bit like doing a flexible double degree. If you start the grad cert and transfer to the master's, again, you lose no time, no money, and you can still complete your master's. So yes, a straight entry 5, and I must also add, if you don't have the 5 and you've also got some work experience, you can come into the Masters directly with a GPA of 4 plus 3 years of work experience in the legal field. So it can be working in any sort of law really, and just producing some references, and we let you in with the 4 and 3 years experience.
Thank you, Nicole. I think we have time for maybe 2 more questions. If we have any. Yes, we have one in the middle. Maybe we could pass the microphone. Yeah.
Yep, I can answer
I'll
that
just
one
quickly
too.
repeat the question for the live
Yep.
stream.
Oh.
Yep. So that was how many positions we keep for the students who are looking to transfer into law. Sorry, Nicole.
That's fine. Sorry, I should have repeated the question. We don't have a cap on internal transfers. That's the other, I guess, good part about the ANU. I don't know if they've woken up to us yet, but hopefully there's no one from admissions in this room. But yeah, we don't have a cap for internal transfers, and I can tell you last year it was 95 that we had move over, or this year actually, who have just started. The numbers used to be around the 70s. It's crept up a little bit over the last 12 months or so. Look, it's really hard for me to put an average on it now. COVID's mucked us all around in no end, and there's no such thing as the usual or the normal. But I can assure you there is no process. You get the 5.6 and you're in. It's as simple as that. We don't have any other ways of looking at your transcripts, at what you've done, any other degree. You know, we don't value science over arts, for instance, none of that. You get the 5.6 and you're in. It's as simple as that.
That's fantastic to hear, Nicole. I think we have a question in the middle. Yeah, so that question was just if we could describe how the direct admissions process works.
Sorry, is that the ASA? I'm not from admissions. Are you talking about the ANU direct admissions process? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we call it ASA here for short, but it's, yeah, the way it works is that currently our students in I know when you apply in year 11, and I'm going to get all the dates wrong, so I'm not even going to try, but I know when those applications go in and close. I know that our early offers are out on Monday, I believe, for our year 12 students. So how that works is you will get an early offer, provided your predicted ATAR at the time from your school matches the course that you're applying for through ASA. And the reason why it is ASA, in a nutshell, it covers admissions, accommodation and scholarships. That's the acronym. So in theory, it's supposed to take care of your admission into the ANU, your accommodation, as well as any scholarships that you are eligible for. And not in theory now, it's actually working very well these days. So what will happen is if you have met that requirement in your Year 11 studies, you will be given an early offer, what we call an early offer. You can accept that, and then regardless of what happens in Year 12, you have that guaranteed entry into whatever your offer says. So you can rest assured that if something terrible happens, and that's not an invitation to slack off for those of you that are there. We don't encourage that at all. However, if something happened in Year 12 and you were to get sick or something went wrong, we had another pandemic, God forbid, but whatever happened, that early entry is guaranteed. If you don't get the early entry, it's not the end of the world, because you can still, of course, build your Year 12 scores up like we used to in the old days and work much harder in Year 12. And then that means you've built your ATAR up. You will either get an offer at that point or, yeah, obviously some of you are going through UAC as well. And if you've gone through UAC, then if you've got that 97, we do participate in at least the main round for UAC as well. So, yeah, so that's how it works. So, yeah, my fingers crossed for all of you come Monday.
Thank you, Nicole, for answering those admissions questions. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today for questions. So thank you, everyone, for joining us to learn more about studying law at ANU. A reminder that we have many informative pre-recorded videos produced for today that can be viewed via the ANU Open Day website. These sessions include panel discussions on clinical programs, internships, and careers, a 360-degree video tour of the ANU College of Law, tips for thriving as an international law student, and introduction to law reform and social justice, and much more. You can also learn more by speaking to our staff and students who are at the Marie Ray Learning Centre if you're in person today, or by visiting our ANU website. Thanks very much, and we hope to see you soon at ANU.